Hello there everyone, welcome to another player spotlight on the channel, and today we potentially have probably the most successful player spotlight that we have had yet. This guy has scored so many goals in so little games, it's absolutely ridiculous. You've probably seen by the title or the thumbnail one of the stats that I've put up there, because this is just too outstanding. And he's a free transfer. Yes, a free transfer. I don't know how I keep finding them, but I do. And I'm bringing them to you. So before we take a look at this player, let me please remind you that we have a little agreement where if you manage to hit 250 likes on this one, we get another one at the end of the week, or if you get both in 1 week, then we get two the next week. That's the little deal we have right now. I don't know whether you hit last week's target, so I don't know whether this is going to be the only one that you're seeing, or it's going to be part of a double upload week yet again, because you guys continue to be very good at hitting those like targets very late in the day. And I let one slide, it had like 248, and I thought, damn it, you're having it anyway, because that's close enough to me for 250 like targets. So if this does help you, if you like this player spotlight, if you are surprised by how good this player does for the price that he costs you, then please, it is absolutely free to just hit that like button. That's all you have to do. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button as well. We have just surpassed 5,000 subscribers. So thank you ever so much to everyone who has managed to get us over that line before my birthday, like I asked you to do. Massive thank you to everyone who has supported me all the way through, and all of you new guys, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy your stay. But this is the player we have for you today, Djibril Touré, and he is from Guinea. And you can of course see he is just 16 years old. He is on a youth contract at this team. Don't know, never heard of them. They are from Guinea as well. They don't even have a badge in my badge pack. But you can approach to sign and you can make a transfer offer. But if you approach to sign, usually, obviously you pay a huge transfer or like a compensation fee. With this one, you don't. You just don't have to pay one. And when you offer him a deal and when he eventually accepts, then you're all golden, because, I mean, we're at Barcelona, so we're offering quite a lot of money. When he does accept, he has wanted a lot of money. He's wanted a lot of money, but when he does, you don't pay a penny. He comes to you as a free transfer at 16 years old. Now, to actually load this player onto your game, so I know a few people are going to say he is not on my game. There's a few things that you can do. Obviously, Guinea doesn't have a league that you can load in. This is where you do it. Approximate player count, go down to advanced, and it will bring you to this little setup. And maybe I should have done this before, because a few people keep asking, but this is easily the best way of doing it. Now, you can add Africa as a full continent itself, and it will load a few players. And if you put players of nationality, that will load a little bit more, because there's a lot of African players abroad. But if you just go to players based in nations, it will add roughly about 16 to 17,000 players into your game. Now, the actual approximate player count doesn't slow down your game speed too much. Ignore the star system. On mine, because I've got quite a bulky computer, it will hardly affect it at all. It might slow it a little, but not too much. So if that is something that you're worried about, you can just simply go down to nations. And if you go onto this tab and select Africa, you can load Guinea as a country itself and have just players of nationality, or even players of the top division clubs, because he is in that. And look how many that adds, about 150. So that is how you get him into your game, the long way and the short way. But to be honest, it's worth having all of the African nations loaded, because the amount of really good players at the start of the game, that is cost you basically pennies, and the amount of players that come through throughout the years in the game as regens, which you can pick up for less than £1,000. It's just worth it. Now, the team we have selected to put Djibril Touré in is Sundowns in South Africa. Now, I enjoy playing in South Africa myself on this game. I've done a few saves in the past. I haven't done one this season, this series of Football Manager, but I have enjoyed doing it in the past before, and I have put him in this team. They have just won the league, and they probably have one of the best teams around. However, when you do simulations in South Africa, a lot of teams become really good. The likes of Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates, and even my favourite South African team of SuperSport United. So I thought, why not put him in here, see what damage he can do. Obviously, there is an African Champions League. You can't actually load any more African leagues in the game, but there are some really strong teams in Egypt and occasionally like Tunisia who you struggle to beat from South Africa. So I want to see how this player does. 16 years old, he's just a 2-star ability. As we can see, now that we've loaded in the game on this save, he has better mentals than what he did on the last, but he has like 1 less for dribbling, and I think his pace is slightly less than what we've seen on the Barcelona one. Now, he has a potential range of up to 150. So what I have done is I've set it at 150. A couple of people down in the comments just said, instead of making it random, just go to the maximum so that we can see what we could potentially have. And if we have lower, we can understand why, because his potential range is, of course, 120 to 150. So we will see him surpass 120, so you can see what potential you would have if you had a bad version of this player. But we're going to see how good this guy can get. And to be honest, that face is staring at me, and he looks angry. Am I doing it? Am I doing it right? I think I am. He looks deadly. Already I'm scared of him. But 6'1" for a 16-year-old, that's not too bad at all. Now, this is going to be the last week, these 2 players that we have lined up for you this week or this week and next week, depending on whether you reach the like target. These 2 are going to be the last 2 that we do in this fashion, where they are on loan or transferred to this team. What we're going to be doing in the future is we're going to be mixing it up a little bit, and I'm going to be a bit of a journeyman following this guy's career, but making sure he continues to play. So, for instance, if I was doing this man here, I would just send him to a club, but I wouldn't put him as a future transfer to lock him in. I'd send him at a club, I'd keep him there, and I'd holiday a few seasons. Then I would go to another club and buy him off that player, a club who has a higher stature in a better league. And then we will see him progress in that league and see if he can do it in that league. Because what lacks maybe in the player spotlight is the variety of teams that they come up against, maybe the competitions they come up against. You guys want to see, I mean, you've never requested this, but I think personally, I want to keep evolving the player spotlight, and I think this is the best way to do it. If we put him, say, here, and then we buy him off him and play him at Bayern Munich for a couple of seasons, then you can see what Bayern Munich is like for this player and see whether he has good adaptability, whether he can do it in the big leagues. I think that's a really good way to try these player spotlights and sort of open your eyes up to a little bit more understanding of each of these players instead of just banging them in one league and seeing how they do across 5 or 7 years. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on that one as well. I'm getting you to write a lot of comments, but hey, 1, you get to see, I get to see your idea, and 2, it helps the algorithm. So there we go. Right then, we're at the first season, the end of the first season, and a very successful one for Toure. We won the league, 74 points, but look at this. Top scorer, 30 goals this season. As a 16-year-old, 30 goals. So he's just turned 17, well, halfway through the year. And already his attributes are looking really good. So if we click across here, you can see 119 current ability. So remember, his potential range is minimum 120. So potentially, this is what you can get if you got the worst version of this player. And to be honest, how many teams would you accept this player in? Because he really could do a job in the Championship, League 1, League 2, maybe even in the Premier League for a relegation side. You could see he's got the attributes in the right places, viewers. That's what I think is the best thing about this player. At 17 years of age, he has good pace, good acceleration, flair and determination, composure and anticipation. All those mental and technical attributes are very good for a striker. Not to mention, he has finishing of 15, so he's going to get some goals, isn't he? Now, if we do have a look at his history and his season, in the league itself, 18 goals in 27 appearances with 2 assists, 3 player of the matches, 7.38 average rating. Very good if you ask me. In the Cups though, he also scored another 10 goals in 12 games. Hence why we have 30 goals in 44 appearances, because he got 2 in Continental as well. Now, they are playing in the African Champions League, and look how good they managed to do. Quarter-final, knocked out by Zamalek, one of the Egyptian teams that I mentioned before. For some reason, they have 3 different cups. One of these is the Super Cup. I'm not quite sure which one it is. It's not that one, so that's a normal cup, so they've done very well. They've won that one. The Nedbank Cup, let's see if that one is. This is also not a Super Cup. So they've got the domestic treble already, viewers. Maybe this is. It's not. There's no Super Cup, viewers. There's no Super Cups. They've just done really well. There's 3 normal cups, and they've managed to win both. They've managed to win twice and come runner-up in the other one. Not to mention they've won the league and the quarter-final. What an amazing year they've had already. Now, I'll skip forward a couple of years. Now we're at the end of the 3rd year, and you've already seen it. I'm sure you have. This little bit down here. He scored 72 goals, viewers. 72 goals! That is a huge amount. They, of course, won the league by 20 points, and they didn't even lose a game, viewers. They drew 5, which I bet they were absolutely gutted with and somehow shocked. But yes, they've got 35 men in the bank as well. That is... wow, okay. Djibril Touré has done the business here. So, I mean, here he is again. Let's look at his current ability, is 141. So we're already close to 150, and he does look so good, doesn't he? This is now as a 19-year-old, 15 dribbling, finishing, and first touch. It's kind of where it stays. I mean, 14 headed is actually quite good in technique. Those other 2 things that's quite good for a striker. Passing is still lapsed though. Great work rate, determination, flair, composure, and anticipation, all green, which is what we like to see, 15 or above. And again, the physicals, very good indeed. He's still 6'1", but he is a monster. 57 games, he scored 72 goals, and got 8 assists, and got 23 player of the matches, and only 4 of those goals were penalties. So he's done very well. 35 goals in the league campaign. And the season before was also very good. Just nowhere near as good as what this is. But in the grand scheme of things, that's a successful season. 21 goals in 30 appearances with 5 assists. 43 in total of 55. But he also had 14 assists in that one. They have done very well. Now, competitions. Have they done it? Wow. Okay. So... yeah, they won everything, viewers. They've got all 5 trophies that they entered this season. They won every single one, including the African Champions League. And they've won it back-to-back. They've won it back-to-back, so they won it the season before as well. Fantastic stuff. Let's look at this a little bit more. In the season before, so they beat Orlando Pirates in this season. Last season... they beat Orlando Pirates last season as well, 3-1 and 3-2. You cannot see the fixture of that one, but I'm sure we can see this one. Did he score in it? No. No. How bizarre is that? He scores so many goals, and then in the final of the African Champions League, he puts in a 6.4 and gets taken off in the 75th minute. Unbelievable stuff. You could not write it. Now, I understand. We are playing with the Phantom Menace. That does bring goals, but... why wouldn't I do that if I know it works? That's a question. I have toyed around with other tactics before and other player spotlights, but I wanted to see if we can get the best out of this player as a striker and get some phenomenal statistics, which we have definitely done, I think. We'll go one more year, and then we've got the 5th year to go because I've only done a 5-year holiday in this series. Let's go to the 4th year. This is actually the 4th year, sorry. I haven't loaded up the 3rd year again. And they've won it all again, viewers. They've won it all again. All 5 competitions. They've done it again. This time, Orlando Pirates again, but only an extra time. Please tell me he was the one who scored it. He wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. He just can't be bothered in the final. He'll get them to the final, but he just can't be bothered when he's in it. But you can see his name quite a few times in other competitions. He was only joint top scorer this season with this man, Jose Ale Meza, a 32-year-old who also played up top with him, only valued at 21k. He was joint scorer with him, so maybe he's having an off-season, viewers. I don't really know. But what we can see is from this, there he is, 18 goals. He has developed into a beast. Still, only a current ability of 144. He still has time to develop in this final season that we will have. But great composure, that's gone up slightly. Other things haven't really gone up yet, but he still is only 20 years old. He hasn't quite reached his full potential of 150 yet, so we may see a bit of an increase after that. In the grand scheme of things, he actually didn't have a bad season because he scored 42 in 44, although his league form was lapsed and he only played 23 games. So maybe that's played a massive play in that. He had a major injury, a lower back stress fracture for 2 months he was out. So he missed a few games there, 7 in total in the league. We don't know how many he missed in the other competitions, but he still managed to go on and win it all. So he's doing very well. Let's see the final year. Well, the final season did not go exactly how it planned. They only actually won 1 competition, viewers, which I bet they're gutted. I bet they're absolutely gutted. They only won the league. I mean, that's devastating for them. They come runner-up to Orlando Pirates and runner-up to Cape Town and knocked out the semi-final by Cape Town in this competition. And they were, where were they knocked out here? We can't see what happened here. Well, surely they were in it. Well, they were knocked out by Orlando Pirates. So Orlando Pirates has actually had a fantastic season after we won 3 Champions League trophies in a row. So Orlando Pirates also filled in the gaps around us. So fair play to them. They've managed to bite back. But in the league, nowhere near us whatsoever. 21 points off us. But Djibril Touré in the league turned it up to 11, viewers. He turned it up to 11 because he is now at the current ability of 150. He's reached his maximum after the 5 years, and boy oh boy doesn't he look amazing. A lot of greens there. Let's have a look at statistics though. In 29 appearances he scored 38 goals, viewers. 6 assists, 13 player of the matches with an average rating of an 8.23. He scored 64 goals in 55 appearances with 20 assists and 20 player of the matches in his final year. He's 21, viewers. He's 21, and this is the reason why players like this, I want to do the kind of amalgamation of doing this league and then put him in the Premier League and see what happens, that kind of thing, because I'm curious now. He's dominated this league, which is fair enough, but this is the kind of league I'd expect to see this player in for his potential range. If he managed to get to the Premier League, would he still get enough goals? Would it be halved? How many would he get? That's what I'm curious about. But he does look like a monster still, and he is now 5-star. Let's see his progress total. What actually happened all time? As we can see, there is a lot of 6s. Concentration of 6 there. Huge. Vision of 5. You can't see, but my head's in the way. Stamina +6. Strength +6. Pace +3. Natural fitness +1. Jump and reach of 4. Balance +6. Agility +5. Acceleration +2. And you can see the rest of your technicals haven't gone up too much, but that's fine. The physicals is where he's getting the most goals from. He's pacey, he's strong now, he's got good agility. And the mental attributes, he's calm and composed. 17 composures, very good for a player in this league, especially with 15 decision making and 16 anticipation. All amalgamated with the off-ball of 15 and work rate of 15. He's a beast. He's an absolute animal in this league. And a phenomenal player. Probably one of Mamelodi Sundowns' best ever players. Shall we see that? I mean, he is only a favoured personnel, which you can't actually see because my head's in the way. However, we're a legend. The manager. The manager takes all the plaudits here, viewers. That's what we need to remember. So there we have it then, viewers. What is your opinion on Djibril Touré? A free transfer from Guinea. I bet you've never heard of him because who would follow Guinean football? If you did, then fair play to you. But he is absolutely unbelievable. He also has 17 goals in 34 appearances for his country. So that's still a great return as well. Are you going to sign this player? That's what I want to know. If you have Africa loaded, please check out to see how he's doing. And then let me know down in the comments as well, because I'm very curious to see whether, if you have Africa loaded, whether he actually ever does make the move. Whether some big club takes a go at him, whether they use him or not. That is quite an interesting topic that I would like to see down in the comments as well. But let me know whether you're going to plan on buying this player. Maybe you have a lower league save or a lower reputation league save, and you're going to give this guy a go because he's going to give you the returns. If he gets to this potential or he gets anywhere near it, he's going to give you unbelievable returns. And what a player and what amazing statistics we have had for this player spotlight. So thank you once again for watching the video. If you like what I do and you would like to support a little bit more, I do have a Patreon page. A massive thank you to everyone who is eventually pledging to the Patreon off the back of these player spotlights. I really do appreciate it because the hard work that I put in finding these players for you takes a long time to do. So the fact that you guys are willing to help me financially and help me get a little bit closer to my eventual goal of being a full-time YouTuber. I really do appreciate it. There is some tiers down there, which is just $2. If you can spare $2, that'll be really appreciated, but there is higher ones as well where you get some nice little rewards. So have a look, patreon.com/OmegaLuke Gaming, if that is something you'd be interested in. But as long as you guys are subscribed, as long as you guys are liking the video, commenting down below, you get my happiness, and you get more of these. That's the main thing. You want to see more of these. When the new game comes out, believe me, I'm going to be doing a lot of these from day dot. I'm going to be finding you the players that you're going to be signing every single season that you do, every single series that you start. You're going to be going to them like you would have done if I told you about Louis Montanu at the start of FM20. You would have signed in pretty much every time. I guarantee it. But anyway, my name is OmegaLuke. I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's another one below that I have picked for you to have a look at. Also, if you'd like to sponsor me as a content creator by pledging to my Patreon page, you can do just that by following the link below and be like one of these wonderful people. Thank you.